What's the hottest thing a partner has ever said during sex, and why?
A girl that had a crush on me for a year told me she had crush all that time right before Halloween. We went out a few times, dinners, hot tub, tattoos together. A fire in the living room. Well, when we got my bedroom, she said, I can't believe I'm fucking you. Right now, needless to say, I'm doing my best to keep this one in my life. How many times do you want me to come?
Not during, but after. She texted me to tell me you fucked me so good and hard that half the drive home it felt like you were still inside of me. Needless to say, that's how she got it from then on.
This girl and I had hooked up a few times, but then stopped for some time. When we hooked up again, she said my ass mistilled you with the hottest inflection. I still think about it to this day, lol.
Do whatever you want to me.
The first time my wife asked me to inside of her when we were dating, immediately unleashed an animal I didn't know was there.
Yaspin, how do you know how to do that? All I can say is that kept the mood going.
He paused, looked, shook his head and then said, I can't believe you're mine, which made me absolutely melt.
Not during, but immediately after. I can't wait for you to come in my mouth again. Most guys' cum tastes like battery acid. Yours made me hungry.
I was performing oral on a girl I had recently met in a tent surrounded by co-workers' tents. We were trying to be quiet, which meant I had to really read her breathing patterns and body language while trying to make her. Every time I felt she was close, it seemed like I messed up and ruined it, so I just kept going. At one point she whispered, I've had like a dozen times at this point. Do you want to get one? I realized at that point I was misreading her, and what I thought was getting close was made me feel like a stud.
Fuck, I always knew you were gonna be good. A girl that I barely knew in HS. When we hooked up 10 years later, it's sexy if knowing they've spanked it to you. When you barely knew who they were.
Met this girl and we went to the movie theater and watched a movie. Afterwards, we went back to her house and she introduced me to her roommates and we hung out with them for a while. They went to bed and her and I started making out and fooling around. She proceeds to give me a stellar blowjob. After a few minutes she suggests we move downstairs to the living room because she didn't want her friends to wake up and walk in on us. I agree and we head downstairs. She lays down on the couch and continues displaying her awesome blowjob skills. As she's going at it I say, I'm glad we paused to come downstairs because you almost made me cum. She stopped and looked up at me and responded, oh, I'm going to make you come before putting it back in her mouth and finishing the job. I was smitten lol.
I used to tell a female friend I had a small dick for years as a joke, and eventually one day things got hot and heavy, and as she reached down to touch me she said something along the lines of, oh my god, I thought it was small? That is huge. Every time I'm feeling self-conscious, that memory gives me the biggest boost ever.
I feel so safe with you, don't know why, but I still think about that.
Good girl, you can.